Surely you have received a paper cut at least once in your life. Well, today we'll make a real saw out of paper and see what we can cut. To begin with, we need to cut out squares with a side of 15 centimeters and 3 on ordinary sheets of paper. Then, with the help of ordinary stationary glue, we will fasten these squares together so there are no blisters left. And the surfaces are completely covered with glue. And of course, we'll press them down tightly with an improvised press. Now we need a compass on which we have previously attached a sharp blade. The radius of our future circle will be 6.3 centimeters. Stick that needle in the center of the square, make a tight stop, and start moving the compass. The paper lends itself easily and we get a perfectly smooth circle, but that's not all. With the help of a grinder disc, we'll mark a hole in the center, and then again with the help of a compass, we'll cut a small circle from there. Our paper disc is ready. The only thing left is to play it on a grinder and secure it in order to avoid traumatic situations. Turn on the grinder. Great! Our paper saw is working and is ready for testing. Let's start with something simple. Cardboard is essentially the same paper. Let's see if our saw can handle it. Oh, yes! Paper saws cardboard without any difficulty. Just look at what an even cut it leaves behind. It seems that this test was passed perfectly. Now, let's take a pencil. In a matter of seconds, the paper saw will deal with it too. What about plastic? Plastic cover lends itself easily to our saw, but what if plastic was denser? Let's see what happens to the plastic pipe. The process is much slower, but we can clearly see the result. The paper, although with some difficulty and manipulations with the precision, copes with the plastic pipe, retaining a fairly smooth cut and a little plastic dust. It seems that nothing will stop it. The plastic panel turns out to be much simpler test, and our saw deals within a matter of seconds. Here's such an undulating slice we got. The stakes are higher now. We have a wooden piece. Here, you already have to put a lot more time and effort, but the progress is noticeable. The paper enters the stick and continues to cut it. It's incredible. Even a slight deformation of this does not stop our paper saw. We're almost there. And yes! The wooden stick is sawn without any problems. Pay attention to the burnt trace. And we have a ball of rubber bands next. Let's see how our paper saw will cope with it. Almost immediately, the rubber bands begin to burst under pressure. It seems this test will also be simple, and we cut this ball without any problems. Oh! The inertia from the rubber bands threw the ball away from our saw. But in general, the test passed with flying colors. We cut the ball of rubber bands without any problems. Now, let's see what happens to the coconut after a collision with our paper saw. Sawing a coconut is not an easy task for a conventional saw. It is important to smoothly move along the entire radius of the coconut, so as not to make a hole through which the contents will pour out entirely than we would like. We continue to move smoothly around the perimeter of the coconut, and it seems to be very easy for the saw. The disc starts to shake a little even when we're already close to completion, but we will still connect the ends of the cut to each other. Put down the saw and easily open the coconut with the knife. Yes! We did it! Even the coconut couldn't resist our paper saw. It's incredible! But I will need this handsome man again. For the first method, divide the watermelon. into 8 pieces. Cut the pulp from the crust. Now we'll make several vertical incisions and slightly shift the resulting pieces inside the watermelon rind. For the second method, we will need 1/4 of a watermelon. To begin with, we make several vertical incisions. Now we make horizontal incisions to get watermelon. Now separate the pulp from the crust. Slicing is ready, and the crust will be served as a plate. It's easy to pick up watermelon cubes with a fork. For the third method, divide the watermelon in half. We will lay one of the halves on the table and make cuts along and across. This way we will get the watermelon pieces that are convenient to take with your hands, and the crust can always be put back in place. This time, we will take half a watermelon and gradually cut off all the peel from it. And we will cut according to the same principle as in the third method. Take a deep bowl, cover the watermelon with it and turn it over. Now the whole watermelon is in the plate. Stick wooden skewers into all these pieces for conveniences. For the fifth method, take half of the watermelon and divide it lengthwise into 3 parts. Stick skewers along each of the 3 parts. We will make incisions across so that each skewer has its own piece. A coin will do for slicing watermelon. A small press on the coin and the watermelon peel lends itself. Let's make our shallow incisions around the perimeter of the watermelon. And now it remains to deliver one accurate blow. You can use a spoon or you can use your hands. Even tastier, don't you think? And the 7th way will be really very unusual. For this trick, we will need 2 watermelons of the same size. We will divide the first watermelon in half and scrape all the pulp out of it so that the walls are completely clean. These are empty halves of watermelon. Let's take the second watermelon. We'll cut off all the peel from it. Let's give it one more even shape. And then we will put out our peeled up pulp into an empty shell of the first watermelon. We trim the excess. The halves have closed. It remains only to wipe the pulp from a damp sponge. Here's such an unusual serving for watermelon we got. Let's check with the special knife for slicing watermelon. Cut off the watermelon base and install it for slicing. We insert the knife and press it with all our might. It seems to be stuck. We'll have to split the watermelon in half. We have to take out all the knife and get several perfectly sliced pieces at once. And finally, another special knife for slicing watermelon. Let's take half a watermelon and just draw this knife across the pulp. These are the neat semicircular pieces of watermelon we got.